Okay, so we are going to do a demonstration of using LoggerLink to connect to a site. LoggerLink is a free application from Campbell Scientific. So because the AR1 contains a Campbell Scientific CR300 data logger, LoggerLink is able to be used for talking to the AR1 product. So we click on the plus button to access our site. Now, we use the same 3 parameters to address our site that we did in DevConfig or in Hydrosphere or a variety of other applications, but we've already seen the demonstration of how to access a site in DevConfig. So refer to the labels on the outside of your packaging of the AR1 when you received it, or there's a label inside the switch area, inside the terminal area next to the switch that has the 3 parameters that you need. So for the demonstration site that I've got set up, I access it via minos.connectgds.com. Your address will be different, so refer to your product label to make sure you're using your address and not my demonstration site. The address will be in the form of connectgds.com with a unique name at the front. The port, you also need to refer to the port that matches your server. So in the case of my server, it's 8040. The port number generally starts at around 8000 and above. So just look for something in that range. As I mentioned, the logger is a CR300 series. Don't use the CR3000 series, which is actually an older logger. Use the CR300 series because that's what's in the AR1. And give it a name. So I'll just, for the sake of this, I'll just call it demo. Again, the Pakbus address is unique to your product. So in the case of my demonstration is 1025, but refer to your server. Refer to your product label for your address. Now the neighbor is the Pakbus address of the router used to route the traffic through the internet to your station. So that will always be 4070. That value you do not need to change. And so those are the only values that you actually need to set. So your TCP address, your port, your neighbor, your address and your neighbor, which is the neighbor is the constant. Everything else you need to refer to your product labeling. So once you've done that, you can save it and then you can tap the button to connect. And that will route through the Pakbus router that we defined 4070 and attempt to connect through the internet to your station. Okay, and when it switches screens, you know that you're connected. And here we can see the public table of the station that we've been looking at previously. So everything here is the same information that you were seeing through the DevConfig data monitor public table. So you can look at the battery voltage, you can look at the operating current, the temperature, the humidity, things like that. You can even do things where you can control flags here. So the read now flag, if you long press on that, you then have the ability to set the value from false to true and click the OK button, and then that will initiate a sensor read on the station. So give it time and we can see that the read now is updated to true. And if we scroll back up the top and watch the message field, we will see that that will show us that it is now requesting an SDR12 measurement from addressor and waiting for response. So this is real-time information. We are instructing the station to do things through this screen. And it's actually quite an informative screen, exactly the same as what you would see through the DevConfig data monitor tab. So we can also look at some status information. It is actually possible to send a new program to the station if you can get the program file on your phone. So the way to do that is to send yourself an email with the program file, and then from your phone, save that attachment, and then you can access it to send it to the station. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of information. You can even set the system clock. You can see we're about 40 or 50 seconds out here. You can collect data. You can collect data, all data, for specific tables, new data, most recent data. It's the same functionality that you've got in DevConfig under the data collection tab. And yeah, you can see the files on the drive, which is like the file control tab. So there is a lot of functionality that you have through here. You can refresh the data. I guess the main screen that you normally use is the public table. About the only thing that you don't have access to that you do have access to on DevConfig are the ability to set some settings and use the terminal mode to talk to the data logger or to talk to the connected sensors. But yeah, apart from that, you just press the back button, you can disconnect. Everything is in your fingertips on a free application on your mobile phone, supported on either Android or Apple. As I said, I've been demonstrating the Android version. The Apple version may be slightly different with slightly different functionality, but the same set of tools. And yeah, this is a great way of kind of seeing data if you've just deployed a site, you don't want to get your laptop out. You can trigger a new reading and make sure everything's operating correctly before you leave site. So it is recommended that you have LoggerLink on your phone and you set it up for use. Thank you.